Yet another one of the insurrectionists is now facing a significant time in prison. This is Guy Reffitt. Was initially the first January 6th defendant found guilty by a jury. He attempted to storm the Capitol January 6th last year, armed with a gun and zip ties. I read that because you might watch Tucker Carlson, who keeps saying that nobody had a gun when in fact multiple guns were found. Anyway, he was stopped, and thankfully he didn't kidnap anyone, he didn't murder anyone, but he was found guilty, and he has just been sentenced to 7 years, found guilty on 5 different charges. Here's the interesting thing. Members of the family are often asked how they feel about this after a sentencing in this case. And his daughters had a lot to say, in part about him, but they had someone else that they wanted to focus a bit more on. Take a look at this.
To mark my dad as this horrible person, and then having him prosecuted like this when somebody is maybe even able to get elected again, doesn't seem right to me.
Trump deserves life in prison if my father's in prison for this long.
And I have to say, I think that they make a compelling point there, Jessica. He was one of the people who stormed the barricades looking to, I don't know, maybe kill Pence, maybe not. Maybe the gun and the zip ties were just for fun. It was part of the outfit, I don't know. But the person who clearly wanted this to happen, who got the people there, who sent them to the Capitol, is probably going to live free for the rest of his life. That certainly doesn't seem like justice.
Absolutely not. There's a reason that Tucker Carlson keeps saying not a single person at the January 6th insurrection, he will never call it that, but on January 6th carried a firearm to the event. The reason that they keep pushing this narrative is because to prove that this was an insurrection and not just seditious conspiracies, because they have to prove a significant amount of violence, and they really want to seem like this either wasn't a violent event and it was a bunch of patriots, or it was and it was Antifa. You can't have both. Again, Tucker Carlson pushing 2 narratives that just don't work together, can't exist in the same reality. But this person carrying zip ties is super interesting because every protest I've been to, the police are the ones with zip ties, which suggests he intended to detain people. Super scary. He had a clear plan, and Trump told them to go, right? The daughters are absolutely right. These people were following the orders of the president, and even the fact that it's taken the DOJ this long to begin the process of holding Trump accountable for what he's done here, which we know from the committee hearings that was pretty clearly an insurrection. It sucks that it's taken this long. Especially when he told them to go. And I feel for the daughters, it's pretty clear they don't like Donald Trump, which gives me hope for the next generation, right? A lot of folks who are friends with or family members of people who were there in January 6th feel pretty shameful about it. And a lot of them don't agree with what went down that day.
Yeah, and actually I wanna play just a little bit more of the video because they wanted to make clear that just because their father might have done something, which he now says he regrets, that doesn't mean that they agree with him. Take a look at this.
He is the one. Edward Bernays, Aldous Huxley, that's where I get my beliefs from. And my parents raised us to be free thinkers and to have our own thought. They did not raise us to a one-pointed point of view.
Now, normally, especially online, when you see someone stressing how much of a free thinker they are, that means that they just believe whatever Alex Jones or Joe Rogan tells them. But in this case, they seem to want to make clear that although they probably would prefer that their father's not in prison and they definitely want real justice here, that doesn't mean that they agree ideologically with the insurrection, which if I were them, I too would probably want to make sure that people know.
I hope she's critically reading Edward Bernays. Edward Bernays is related to Sigmund Freud and is kind of the father of propaganda and aided the CIA in propagandizing, I don't know, the coup in Guatemala for one example. So hope she's reading that critically.
No, I would assume that's what she means, that she's studying propaganda. I assume that's what it means.
Yes.
Yeah, some of his quotes about the need to like cow the populace with careful messaging and everything, I assume she's reading that critically. Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.